Okay, did you know that when a plane is flying, the majority of the time, it's actually off course? So let's say a plane leaves here, Helena, Montana, it's flying to Minneapolis, Minnesota. The majority of the time it's actually off course. That's a constant course correcting, get back on course. Why is that? Because it's got a set flight pattern. It's going to take off from here, it's going to go to a certain elevation or altitude, and then it's going to fly on this pathway. But what happens? You have a headwind, you have a tailwind, you have a crosswind, you have a thermal, you have different temperatures that can affect the amount of lift on that plane. Or if you've ever been in a plane where all of a sudden a storm comes up and the pilot says, well, we're going to try to climb above these clouds. It's going to adjust the course so we can get a smoother ride. So there's this set pattern. There's a goal, if you will, that's to get to Minneapolis, Minnesota, but there's all these different factors that are going to affect the flight. So it's the same thing with your health. And this is why the massive benefit of getting regular chiropractic adjustments, because your nervous system is constantly course correcting, right? It's got millions and billions of bits of information that's coming in from your external environment every second of the day, but also stuff going on in your internal environment, right? It's going to have to adjust depending on what certain foods that you eat. Did you drink enough water or not enough water? If you have a processed food versus natural food. So it's constantly gauging all these things, internal and external in your environment, and trying to adjust those things to get what's called homeostasis, this balance, right? And so when you get adjusted, it removes interference and allows the body to adapt better to your environment, not only your internal environment, but your external environment. And the big thing here is just like that plane getting course correction all the time, when you get adjusted and then you go out and live your life, what happens? You're exposed to physical stress, chemical stress, emotional stress, thoughts, traumas, toxins. There's things in our environment every single day. Now, there's a lot of things that we can do in our power to affect what kind of environment we put ourselves in, what we expose ourselves to, what we eat, what we do physically. But the reality is that today, we live in a challenging environment. We have a lot of things that affect us. Even just from a chemical stress point, it's really hard to eat totally natural food because there's so much junk in our food system. It's hard to totally avoid emotional stress. And I would say we don't want to totally avoid emotional stress because those things, challenges, can make us a better person. But again, the process of getting adjusted, getting regular adjustments, allows you to adapt better to those stresses. And why is that important? Not only are you going to feel better, but why do we get sick? Why do we develop symptoms? Why do we develop diseases? Because we can't adapt enough to that stress. Just like a germ or a virus, if you're exposed to a flu virus, it doesn't mean you're going to get sick. If your body's adapting well and your immune system can recognize that flu virus right away, it's going to kill it off. You're never even going to know that you got exposed to the flu virus. Or cancer cells. Did you know we have anywhere from 100 to 10,000 cancer cells in our body every single day? But yeah, what happens? Your body's working the right way. It recognizes that cancer cell and says, oh, we need to kill that off and get rid of it. It doesn't belong here. But again, we get run down. Our body can't adapt as well. That's where cancer can get a foothold in and can develop into cancer or heart disease or whatever disease or symptom you might be dealing with. So chiropractic by no means is a cure-all, and it's not a treatment for any symptom or disease, but it is a process to allow your body to adapt better to every part of your life. And not only are you going to feel better, but you're going to be healthier. So remember, it's a process. Your health, chiropractic, is a process, not an event.